What's better than one podcast? Two podcasts. Yes, hello, welcome to kind of a new thing I thought I'd start off. And thank you to Legion for joining me. You quickly wave to him as well, Legion, while I just have a look at a few things and that. So.
Or if you guys want, I'll do that too.
It looked like you were sticking your finger up. God, Jesus Christ. Welcome to a new thing I'm going to try, and we'll see how we go. The recap of the recent pay-per-view we had, which was Money in the Bank 2025. We'll get into reason why we're doing it as well is because normally we do the recaps before the preview show, and it's kind of a bit of out of our mind what happened at the event and that. So I thought, while the event is still fresh in our mind, let's have a bit of a recap, what we thought of the pay-per-view, what we liked, what we didn't like, and we'll just go from there. So yeah, before we jump into the pay-per-view, Legion, I want to talk about, because there was another pay-per-view, Worlds Collide, happen before. I didn't unfortunately get to watch it. You watched a bit of it, yes?
Yeah, I watched a very, very little of it. Like I got to the spot where right before the spot where Dominic challenged Octagon Jr.
Yeah.
That's because I caught it.
Yeah. What do you? Obviously, I don't see this sustainable going forward because number one, we're going to talk about it as well. Some wrestlers had to pull double duty, and that's not sustainable because obviously injuries and stuff like that can happen. So, what do you see this as something? Obviously, it's because with AAA as well, and it had NXT and WWE stars and that. So, what were your feelings about the event? We'll talk about the big star from the event as well. So, go on.
I did like a backtrack and just saw snippets about some of the matches that happened beforehand, and just to take a quick gander of what the show was about.
Yeah.
But by all means, this is my personal opinion, I think it outshined Money in the Bank if anybody watched.
I will say people have been praising. I did. The one thing that shocked me, that Conan was the color commentator as well.
Yes, he was.
That
was amazing.
With all the stuff I know, obviously is he one of the owners of AAA, or I forget what he would have to.
I can't remember, to be honest.
We'll have to look that up. But there was praise for Corey Graves calling the thing as well. So it's unfortunate he can't get a gig at the minute in the main, but apparently his commentary of the thing was really great as well. So yeah, but I was shocked to see, because there was also talk they were trying to get Mike Tenay, which would have been amazing because he was actually,
I heard about that.
Yeah, really good commentator.
How solid that would have been.
Yeah, so, but yeah, and you thought it outshined Money in the Bank. We'll have to.
Yeah, because I can't remember that dude's name. That guy that Chad Gable face. I can never pronounce his name.
Yeah,
I can never pronounce his name properly.
Yeah. I would have a go as well, but I'd butcher it as well.
From what I saw and read and everything, that was legit the match of the night,
and
including Money.
Hopefully as well, we get to the point where actually they cash in on Chad Gable. I know, obviously, with the other thing he's doing, Chad Gable, which we probably, whether we like to talk about or not, with the El Grande Americano thing as well, he's just an amazing person. So
yeah, if you want a good laugh, I saw a little meme on who's underneath the mask.
Yeah, it's apparently it's Chelsea Green, so that's why they had the CG.
No, the one I saw was Vince McMahon.
just for here, we'll also talk about, because there was something shocking in Money in the Bank as well. And we'll talk about what our favorite twist as well. But let's get into Money in the Bank as well. So I've got the first one. The opening match, which was really good to see, was the women's Money in the Bank as well. Can I say one thing as well? Stephanie Vaquel, I probably butchered her name in that. I don't know if I did. If you could tell me in that, Vaquer. Sorry, Stephanie Vaquer. 3 matches in 24 hours. Okay, look, I understand she's the new shiny. I'll try and choose my words carefully. I was going to call her the new shiny toy in that, but
she's the new Buzz Lightyear. Let's say that.
Yeah, let's not try and overexpose her, because we've seen in recent years with Rhea how they overexpose her, and it's now coming back to bite them in the ass. And that, like, I'm more than happy for her to maybe wrestle twice, but 3 times in, 24 hours and that, had she done an injury, and been out for a bit, it would have really bit WWE in the ass and that. But it was this is, I think this is like the 7th or 8th women's Money in the Bank match, I think, or along those lines. And it wasn't the best, but it was no by far the worst. It was probably in the middle on that. So all women, like for number one, for them to bring up the 3 newcomers as well, Stephanie, Julia, and Roxanne, just shows how much of a big future those 3 have got. But with I'll talk about the winner as well, because number one, I should have had her as my woman when I did my half-year awards. I can't believe I forgot about her in that. So Naomi. And that's or did I have her as my woman of the half year? I forget. No, Stephanie I had, and that's but I'll get onto that as well. Just some amazing points in the matches as well. I could go over them, but Naomi X-factoring, I think it was Stephanie onto the top of the ladder, looked brutal as well. And then there was Rianne getting buried under the tables and under the ladders and all that stuff. We'll talk about the ladder situation later on as well. But it was, Julia as well. Like there was a few stand-up matches as well. But we now know what Stephanie Valkyle's thing is, where she does it's called the Devil's Kiss. I didn't realize that was the name. The Devil's Kiss to Rhea on top of the ladder was. I kind of expected it to come, and I didn't know how they were going to do it, but they did it really well done with that as well. So I give them props for that. The stereo, I will say one thing, maybe a bit overkill on the stereo moves and that, because we saw a stereo, they call it Code Red, but it looks like the Pop Grops from...
That's what, because that's Roxanne's move.
Yeah, Roxanne, yeah. That was by Stephanie and Alexa Bliss on the Roxanne, and... I think it was
Rox. I thought Roxanne did it, and who was the other one? I can't remember. I know Roxanne was one of them that did it, and they called it Code Red. I'm like, that's Roxanne's Pop Rocks.
And then we saw another kind of stereo move with Rhea with the Riptide and Alexa Bliss with the Sister Abigail, and it left it down to those 2 climbing up the ladder. And then Naomi pushes them both off and wins Money in the Bank. And I called it. Who'd you have as your winner? I forget.
I had Roxanne.
You had Roxanne. Look, Roxanne would have been good, but as I said, since the heel turn, Naomi has just been like she's always like a great performer, and that's so. And
I watched the post show interview with her, and Big E brought her to tears.
I didn't actually watch.
Meaning like happy tears.
Yeah, happy. Tears. I was going to say, wow, okay. It's kind of. I thought she would have been going into her like heel persona off a kayfabe and that. So
no, she did afterwards, because Biggie hit some tear jerkers where it hit home with her.
Yeah,
it was hard for her not to get emotional.
That's really good, and we all got to remember they're all human beings as well. So yeah, for me, it was obviously a great match to start off with. I think every female shined in that as well. But it's obviously we're going to see Julia. I think will be going after the US title, which would be good for her. Roxanne obviously has the thing with Liv. We'll see where that goes. I'm not sure about what's going on now with Rhea and that, so it'll be interesting to see where she goes and that.
This is. I've been seeing some fan stuff on my feeds from time. This is nothing for official from WWE or any dirt sheets or anything. Where people want to see Stephanie and Rhea team up.
It's that's the WrestleMania main event, women's at the minute. They've kind of alluded to as well. Would you want to see? Yeah,
Stephanie versus Rhea.
Yep, Stephanie versus Rhea, and that. So I would kind of want. It'd have to be obviously Rhea have to win the title again, and then I think Stephanie have a big moment at Mania and that. But I mean, I wouldn't mind that. I mean, don't know how they can get there as well, but yeah.
You mean like have Stephanie take the title off of Rhea?
Yeah, at Mania, yeah, I'd have Stephanie win I think she's the early Rumble winner at the minute. That's my thing. I don't know who else we can think of as well, but she's just on fire with Stephanie. So yeah, that would be my pick.
They have to ban it a bit, if that's the right word. So she doesn't get overheated.
Overexposed, you mean?
Yeah, thank you. Overexposed.
Yeah,
What I was trying to think of the proper word.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Because they did that with Rhea, and look what happened.
Yeah. Exactly. So, I give the match 3 out of 5. Like I said, not the best women's in the Money in the Bank match, but not the worst as well. So, all women shine. And I feel the right winner. I'm not saying that because I picked it, because going into the match, it was either apparently Rhea or Alexa Bliss would tip the win. So, yeah, I'm glad Naomi gets her moment to shine, and we go from there.
Let's see if your full prediction comes true.
Yeah, it's that will lead to the Bianca heel turn and that. So, but let's go to the next match, and I believe you got this one, Legion. This was announced on Worlds Collide, so you can go ahead.
This was announced towards the this match was announced towards the end of Worlds Collide, and because it showed Dominic at Worlds Collide coming through the audience, talking trash, saying that I heard pretty much saying I heard you're a fan of my dad. Da, 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 da. He was talking about to Octagon Jr.
Yep,
and it led to a brawl. And then he said he would see him at Money in the Bank and he'll put the title on the line. So I'm like, okay, it's a good way to showcase AAA. It's a great way to showcase him.
Yep.
On a WWE pay-per-view, a main one.
Yep.
With this match, it really showcased what Octagon Jr. is really capable of. He's one of the best high flyers I've ever seen.
Yeah, I've never heard of the guy until I watched the match. It was a very short match as well, but he, put in work and that. So let's see what it goes from there.
I've known about Octagon Jr. for a few years now. When he did what was it called? It's like a supercard. We need a supercard.
With AAA and down there.
The G1 supercard.
Oh, the G1. Okay, yeah.
That's what it's called. I watched one or two of his matches from back then.
Yeah,
and I was impressed. But I didn't think he would I didn't think he'd come to WWE because it's too much of that style in WWE's. It wouldn't fit.
I mean,
but apparently I was wrong.
Yeah, I mean, in saying that as well, people thought Rey Mysterio would never come to WWE back in the past, and that. So as long as you
that's true,
change your style a little bit. So
yeah. This match was more of a filler match, in my opinion.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
And it's just to showcase AAA.
Yep.
And what they can do.
Yep.
But the best spot in the match, I think you said it earlier, was when he tied the mask to the bottom rope.
It just shows Dominic Mysterio gets it. That's tying. I had a bit of a laugh in that, and I just thought it's something Eddie Guerrero would do. So he's really he
would.
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting if you put a picture of Eddie Guerrero from back then and put it side by side with Dominic, they look almost identical.
Yeah, they look identical. And if he's doing it deliberately, I don't know if he's doing it deliberately, these tributes to Eddie, but good on him and that. So, yeah.
And he gets the business quicker than anybody I've ever seen.
Yeah. What would you give the match out of 5? I'm just curious as well. I know it's a filler match, so obviously not that high, but yeah.
Personally, with the performance of Octagon and Dominic together, I give it a solid 3.
Solid 3. I mean, I'm happy. I think 3 is a part. 3, the way we're doing our ratings, obviously out of 5, 3 is a pass, and that obviously nothing special, but and that. So yeah, let's get on to the match after that as well. The Lyra, the WWE Women's Intercontinental Title on the line with Lyra defending against Becky Lynch in a last chance match. Can I say number one from this? This match was way better than their Backlash match. I don't know what it was. So the Backlash match felt a bit clunky for me as well. There was also, this is where, I don't know if you're watching it as well, halfway through it, we heard We Want Truth chants. I thought, oh God, is it going to take over the pay-per-view? And that, but yeah, it's, look, the Lyra drop kick to the side where Becky caught her and then just threw her down was quite funny as well. And then, it was just a really good back and forth match. It was actually had me more invested this match than their match at Backlash and that. And I think the right person came out because I think Lyra's better at chasing the belt than that's. I've always said that with good guys or baby faces. Some of them are more better at chasing the belt than when they win the belt and then they have to defend it and that. So I don't know if Lyra will get the belt back off Becky. I mean, I think this will be. Maybe even as soon as Monday, this will see the return of Bayley, and I think her and Becky will go at the Intercontinental title for a bit as well. But yeah, the roll up at the end with Becky Lynch winning, and then obviously Lyra had the raise her hand in victory, and Becky just kept pushing and Lyra, the way the crowd cheered at the end with Lyra getting her as we call it, the heat back on Becky with the what do they call the move, it was kind of a it was a
I can't remember the name.
Yeah, they gave it an in there, but it kind of looked like a Michinoku driver in that. So look,
it's like a Michinoku. It's like a Michinoku driver.
Yeah, I forget the name they gave it and that, but
Nightwing.
Yeah, the Nightwing. Yeah, that. So, I mean, we'll talk about as well because there was a bit of news announced as well. Like I said, I think Lyra might move on to. Because we got the King and the Queen of the Ring as well, I think she might move as one of the participants in that. We already know one of them, which is Jade Cargill and that, so we'll talk about that more as well. But yeah, I give this match, look, like I said, it was passable. 3 out of 5 and that, so. And I know a lot of people are saying, Becky politicked herself, she didn't need the win and that, but I think Becky will raise the Intercontinental title, the Women's Intercontinental title, more than what Lyra could have done, in my personal opinion, and that's what it comes down to. Your opinion might be different, but yeah. Go on.
I agree with you on that. I was like, Lyra is don't get me wrong, Lyra is a phenomenal performer and all that, but her persona is really, really bland.
Yeah, and she's not. She's not connecting.
Look into it. Yeah, she needs to re-look into her persona a little bit, and like that word, just reconnect.
Yeah. I mean, at the end, like I said, when she got sick of Becky's crap and did those 2 moves to her, the crowd cheered. So obviously, why the crowd cheered for you then? Let's invest in that, and hopefully she can do more. And that's so.
Yeah. She's already over with the crowd. She just needs to retweak her gimmick.
Yep. I believe you're next with the men's Money in the Bank as well. So.
Yeah, the men's Money in the Bank. That one was fairly intense and hilarious at the same time.
I know you're gonna go, but I don't know what Solo is on that night. But my God, the
beginning of that match was hilarious. They threw Seth Rollins. Everybody attacked Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Solo's in the corner just watching. Then after everybody hit their maneuver, here comes Solo to throw him out of the ring, and then he just doing his little shuffles like, and turns around to see. LA Knight does the whole LA Knight point.
Yep.
And then sees Andrade does the fist bump or whatever he does.
Yeah.
And then Penta's his little taunt.
Yeah.
And then it just gets super kicked.
Yeah. Well, later on in the match as well, when Penta was down, he did the as you call the smooth operator taunt to Penta as well. So I don't know what Solo was on that night, but I know he's had a lot of doubters in the. I think the Solo we're going to see, obviously, with what happened with Jacob later on. But I don't mean to interrupt you. Keep on going on that with the match and that.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying Solo is just the highlight of the whole match because of this.
Yeah.
Because it's just his comedic performance altogether.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
But and then there was I think there was a great spot with Penta late. I think it was a little later in the match, between him and Andrade on the ladder.
Yeah,
where he did the Mexican driver on the ladder.
Yeah. There was a few dangerous. I will say also, I don't know if you saw it, but the El Grande Americano ankle lock to Seth Rollins at the top of the ladder was ingenious. I never seen that before. And I will say, I know you're going to give a bit more interview. There was a contrived spot. They may have went a bit overboard on the spots in the men's Money in the Bank, from my personal opinion. But the one where El Grande Americano climbed up from the outside onto the ladder, onto the turnbuckle, then onto the ladder, into the middle of the ring, and then headbutted. I think it was Penta, wasn't it, at the top of the thing with his metal thing. And then after that, LA Knight coming, and I don't know if you saw it, but go look at the match, how dangerous it was. Back suplex him off the ladder onto the ground. It's literally inches away from another ladder, so that was a very scary spot. And that hopefully they can, and that's.
Are you peeking at my note? Are you peeking?
Maybe in that. So I know you're doing a good job as well, but I like to do that. And then,
Because that was my next. No, that was my next point.
yeah, and then also like in the match, Seth obviously calls out Bronson Reed, and I don't know if you want to go on with it. Like Seth calls out Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker, and you can take it from here if you want. So,
Yeah, but yeah, that right there is just like I'll leave from that one. It's like Seth bringing Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed out, and I will say El Grande Marcano got what I call the Carlito treatment because he got hit like a missile, like a missile hit him. Oh, if anybody remembers the when Carlito got speared by Bron Breakker, in this instance, just put El Grande Americano in Carlito's place. It's the exact same thing that happened. If you look at a still image that I saw online, Bron Breakker looked like a missile. No joke. He literally looked like a missile.
And then that led out to JC. Why am I butchering?
JC Mateo, and Jacob Fatu coming in.
Yeah, come out and they had a little.
This brawl was oh my god, amazing.
Yeah.
So it was like. Remember watching the Shield versus Wyatt family back in the day.
Yeah. Not at that level.
It was that good.
No,
it was that kind of good. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
that's what I was trying to say. Is like, in modern times, that's what I compare it to.
Yeah. The
and then Jacob Fatu doing a pop-up Samoan drop to Bronson Reed. Was just absolute strength.
Like
of Jacob Fatu.
I don't like. I'm going to go back. Did you see the stare down they obviously had at SmackDown when it was Jacob Fatu and Bron Breakker? I see a future WrestleMania main event right there with them two. Don't you?
It's heavily possible. I can see it at some point down the line. But
it kind of reminded me of it's another version of Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar. Like those they only had one match, and oh my god, they could have wrestled. I could have seen them wrestle for the rest of the year. Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar and that.
That feud was. I wish they could have carried that on.
Yeah, I wish as well on that. So, but yeah, that led to obviously Jacob
this led to Jacob's face turn.
Yeah. You called it as well back in the day. You're waiting for the time he'll say, "I hate you, Solo." That's it was
because that is the line right there.
Yeah,
and he just grabs him by the ankle, and Solo's just like, "Huh?" Just trying to pull like, "What's going on? Why can't I move?" And the face he just gives is like, "Why can't I move?" And he looks down, just sees Jacob grab me, goes, Jacob's like, "I hate you." Pulls him down and freaking super kicks him, and then moves the ladder away, does his moonsault onto him. Like that's just amazing.
Yeah, so that took out Solo. So yeah,
that took him out for the rest of the match.
Yeah, and that. But
there's another point that happened. Like I think at the beginning of the match, I wanted to get to.
You go on.
Oh, I hope Andrade didn't ever want kids.
Yeah,
because it was an accident. This part was an accidental spot. It wasn't supposed to happen because he got hit with the ladder. Grande hit him with the ladder, and then Andrade flew back and he dropped the ladder, and the bottom portion of the ladder, the leg of the ladder, smashed into his groin.
I'm wincing thinking about it.
I winced when I saw that. It's like I hope he doesn't want kids. Poor Charlotte.
Obviously ended. Obviously, well, actually, they're not together anymore. So.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm just pointing.
Yeah. Obviously,
we didn't want kids.
Obviously, ended the match as well with Seth winning as well. With
Yeah.
It came down to I thought I know it should have been a couple of years ago with LA Knight winning, but it came down to Seth and LA Knight.
Yeah, that's what my thing is. Like, I see a lot of people saying this, but I'm going to ask this as well. Do you think this was his final shot?
I hope not. I kind of wished a couple of years ago they went with LA Knight. I feel like it was the thing is.
Go ahead.
I was going to say he's still getting the not as white hot reactions, but he's still getting the hot reactions and that. So from the crowd wants to see it. Like, I don't know. Like, I hope it's not it because I still feel he.
Like, and this is the point. Like, there's a lot of things like Triple H does that like we don't agree on. It's like we need to pull the trigger when things happen. But in this case, like if you pull the trigger too soon,
Yeah.
his red hot, what I call the red hotness, it's gonna fade out really fast.
Yeah.
So if he pulls that trigger at the perfect moment, it's gonna be magical.
That's going to be the thing as well. When is the perfect moment as well? So yeah.
And this is what I'm leading into right here. Is like I told you this off air, I believe.
Yeah.
But pencil me in for this prediction. I see him the one to quote unquote retire John Cena.
I would if you. I know you're on Twitter. I would tweet that, and we'll go back to the date when it actually happens as well because we've done that with you before.
I'll tweet it.
Okay, rightio. But Seth
I see him taking the title off.
Yeah, Seth winning. It's really interesting to see where they're going to go with this as well because we might talk about at the end the rumored SummerSlam matches that we've heard as well. But yeah, I've. Do you see at the minute, if you were to book it, do you see Seth the cash being successful or failed?
Successful.
Successful. I kind of, after last year with Drew, obviously failed. Like, it needs to be successful, but...
Yeah, because this was actually my other part of my prediction as well, with LA Knight winning. Seth cashing in on him at the end of the match.
Huh, okay.
Interesting. To win the WWE title.
Huh. So then we'd have a Seth LA Knight feud. I would not be against that.
Yep.
They haven't feuded before, have they? No. Huh.
Nope.
Anyway, what do you give the men's Money in the Bank out of as well?
A solid 3.
Solid 3.
Those are some great spots, but the match itself was,
Yeah.
Like, it was good, but it wasn't bad.
It was. We'll get to the end of the pay per view as well. Like, it was not a terrible pay per view, but it was not a pay. Obviously, there's one incident that everyone just went, "What the hell?" and that we'll get to that right now. We'll go to the main event with Logan Paul and the last real champion, John Cena, taking on the returning Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. Can I say one thing? At the start of the match, I love the psychology of John Cena. And some people have been saying that they feel this heel run is a bit of lackluster at the minute because John is acting like every heel he has ever faced in that. So, and
the thing is, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah,
I don't think it's at least a portion of the community anyway.
Yeah,
including myself. Now, because ever since the whole heel turn, it evolved around The Rock.
For
his heel turn.
Yeah,
and that's the reason I think, in my opinion, it became lackluster because he's no longer involved.
Yeah. And that's not
in this case the quote unquote reason for the heel turn.
Yeah, well, that's not John Cena's fault. That's The Rock's fault. Obviously, I'll say this now, whether you believe me or not. This is why we haven't got The Rock at WrestleMania the last couple of years because he doesn't want to lose to the obvious thing is for him to put over Roman, and I obviously can't speak for The Rock, but we haven't seen it yet, and he doesn't want to do it. So that's my reasoning in that. But can I say at the start where John tags out Logan, then Logan was about to get in and tags in the John? I just love the psychology as well. I will say Logan Paul was very impressive in this match as well. So yeah,
because me and you are big Logan Paul haters.
I'm not. Well, not a hate for me. I get the reason why WWE are obviously showcasing him the way they are, and that because he's bringing the casual fans in maybe The Rock will bring in. I think The Rock would be the only one that would bring in casual fans. Who else would bring in casual fans? And that. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I see the business aspect. I just don't like him as a character.
I mean, that's what he does. Like, would you cheer? Like, it was not that long ago we were actually cheering for Logan against Roman Reigns at a Saudi Arabia event in that. So Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
That was a few years ago in that, but we were cheering for Logan Paul. Think about that. So I think he just does it well in that. But yeah.
Yeah, he gets it. He understands it.
What were your
He,
highlights of the match as well? Let's get into the highlights of the tag team matches.
my the biggest highlights in my opinion is Logan Paul.
Yeah, yeah.
Is what he did in the match. Is the drone work he did.
Oh, that that.
That was the entirety of the drone. That was just the best spots of the match.
I know some of the old school wrestlers will probably hate the drone part, but I just when he was on the top rope and looking at the drone, and I thought I can see what's going to happen here. Cody with the superplex. I didn't see he missed the. I think it was going to try and get Jey Uso with the Uso splash from the top rope. He didn't get that part, but he got the suplex really good as well. So yeah, and then
it was with Jey Uso hitting the Uso splash that caught me off guard.
Yeah. Like I think maybe he was supposed to turn the camera to see Jay jump on him. Anyway, that's me maybe thinking a bit too much in that. But yeah, then the outside work on that table, like when John was going to attitude adjust Cody Rhodes on the announce table, and then obviously Jay makes a save, and then Logan Paul with the Asaya moonsault from the ring to the announcer table is just a thing of beauty. Like it was just really like that. But then we get to the moment in the match and that, because I'll let you take this as well, because with the Asaya, with the obviously Logan taking out Jey Uso, and that the crowd was distracted, and John grabbed the belt.
The crowd, the ref as well.
Yeah. John grabbed the belt and nailed Cody, but then let's talk about what happened next. Like,
like a masked assailant comes in. We've seen many masked assailants all the time.
Yep.
Comes in, spears Cena, and just starts ground and pounding. I was like,
yep.
All I saw was the back skin of him. Like,
yeah,
who is that?
Yeah, I initially thought okay, is it Trick? I thought no, that's too small to be Trick.
No, my first thought process was Oba Femi. Like, no, he's too scrawny to be Oba.
Yeah, too small in that. And then he took off the mask, and we all.
I literally screamed.
I lost my shit. Like, apologies to you editing this and putting it on YouTube and that, but I lost it. I went, what the hell? And then like Michael Cole, like he's just like ever since the last 10 years or so, Michael Cole has just gotten commentating in that, so maybe in the last 5 years I will say he's gotten into that, but with the great call of It's Truth and that, like we saw all the things. Yeah, go on.
That wasn't truth that we saw.
Yeah, no, it's
we know truth.
Yeah,
that's not truth.
Yeah, it's Ron Killings.
That's Ron Killings.
Yeah, so with all the stuff that came back, and as we found out from his son on Twitter, I'm pretty sure you said that apparently this was not a work. This was Truth was really... Well, the thing was, I'll have to get the reports on that, but TKO lowballed the offer, and he wasn't going to sign, and then he just saw what was doing and what happened to the company and decided to sign. So,
and from what I saw from many dirt sheets as well, it's like within the previous 72 hours is when they came to an agreement.
Yeah, and obviously Truth nailed John then with the belt, ran out, Cody with the only one crossroads, and then got the victory in that. So obviously Cody and Jey Uso defeat John and Logan Paul. Like I said, obviously let's take out the point from the end of the match, and I'll give the match a solid 3. And that, obviously, with the ending and that, it's a 4. And that, so we've got a Crown Jewel event we're going to talk about more. And do you see being Ron Killings versus John Cena at that event?
Oh, in Saudi?
Yeah, Saudi. Yeah.
Yep, I do.
Yeah, and then the pay-per-view, like it was originally 4 matches and then 5 matches maybe knocked it down. For me, like I give it a solid 6 out of 10, maybe 6.5 in that. So it was nothing. There was nothing terrible. Really, the only terrible thing is the sponsoring thing, which I understand they got to do sponsor. Like we're in a new age now where people are looking for sponsors on things now. But if we're really going to get sponsors on ladders, let's do every ladder, okay? Not just one particular ladder, because then we know when that ladder came out, we go, oh, hang on, we know the ending. We know what's going on. So
don't do that because they'll listen and do it.
If I make TKO money, I expect to see it a bit my way and that. So yeah, that was our ending of the. That's the ending of the review of Money in the Bank.
Let me ask you this, and this is for everybody else as well that's watching. For Money in the Bank, just Money in the Bank, what do you think on the match of the night was?
Yeah, and we should talk about the if this was a with the truth coming back and that, like where it ranks as surprises and that, like obviously the Mark Henry retirement thing was the biggest one I looked at as well. What were the other ones you thought of as well? Because there was a shock. The crowd popped big time for truth. Sorry, Ron. They come out. Whatever. He's going to call himself in that. So yeah. So
him. I can't think of any other comparison.
I mean, we could talk about bad ones.
Edge's return.
Edge's return. Yeah. I mean, also we'll talk about bad ones like when Vince was revealed as a higher power. And that is a...
We don't speak of that. We don't speak of that.
Hulk Hogan being the third member of NWO back in the day. Obviously, the John Cena heel turn, like no one saw coming, you know? Yeah, so... Anyway, before we end, we're going to get on a bit of news bits as well at the end. So we got there was announced for the Saudi event, the King and Queen of the Ring is going to be announced in 3 weeks as well. This will be the 24th tournament for the King of the Ring and the third tournament for the females, isn't that? So... we know Jade Cargill is going to be one of the females. We don't know any other members of the men's or the women's, but there are 2 fatal 4-ways from Raw and SmackDown, and then 2 1-on-1s, and then we'll find out the things. What do you think of the fatal 4-way matches?
I don't like it.
No.
I like the whole 1-on-1 bracket aspect that used to be on.
Yeah. It's
the fatal 4-way just doesn't add up.
Yeah, I don't know why they couldn't have given it more, like single tournament. When I originally saw I saw it 8 on each one. It was 8 on the men's, 8 on one side, 8 on the other. I thought, they're actually going to do a tournament. Then they announced it was actually fatal 4-way. I went, that's probably maybe they're probably maybe not. I don't know. And who do you see?
Speedrunning it.
Yeah, who do you see an early winner if you want for male and female as well? So,
give me one.
Yeah,
uno momento on that one.
I mean, obviously Jade is from. Yeah, go on.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say Jade is obviously the only female we know, so I don't know. Maybe she might be in because they want to start working between her and having a main match at SummerSlam and that. Well, you need to talk about SummerSlam as well, but I'm just trying to think of
one person I think we'd all like to see win King of the Ring.
Who's that?
Or at least get close to the finals.
Who's that?
And that's Karrion Kross.
Yeah, I hope with all the stuff that's happening with him that he doesn't leave and that, but it would be a good be a good one to win as well, and that's so I don't know if you got your guys, the King and the Queen as well. Yeah, it's be interesting. I really want to see the list before I give a winner and that. I mean, obviously, we were talking about this off stream. Maybe I hope they don't do it, but maybe Cody wins because I don't know what he's got. Maybe.
What about? I know it's a long shot. Finn Balor.
Yeah, maybe because whoever wins as well gets the world title match of their respective brand at SummerSlam. So, yeah, I mean, well, let's quickly talk about SummerSlam. The matches I've seen of her rumored as well. So, obviously, I think now it'd be Cody and John. Obviously, will be the WWE title match. I'm not sure about the world title match because I have seen it's going to be Seth and Roman. I don't know if that'll be for the world title. I've also seen Goldberg apparently and Gunther and that. So those are the 3 rumored matches I've got at the minute. So I don't know if you.
I would love to see. I was just thinking about that. Whether he wins the King of the Ring or not, I would love to see Jay versus Finn.
Jay versus Finn would actually be good. They haven't faced for a world title before, have they?
No, I don't think so.
This might actually be the leading of the end of Judgment Day as well. So, yeah, let us know who you think as well. I don't know if they've actually announced the. I think there's a match coming on Raw this week as well. And by the way, with the Ron Killings thing as well, I cannot wait to watch Raw, see where it goes from here. It's got me excited for Raw, and I haven't been excited for Raw for a bit as well. So yeah. Quickly talk about it as well. Nikki Bella's returning on Raw. They announced on, I think it was on at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view as well. So Nikki Bella's returning, which is good. I'm not a fan of Nikki Bella, but I'm glad that she's coming back. Obviously, it's going to set up for the Evolution pay-per-view, second one. So be a lot of hopefully a lot of good female matches as well on that day. Maybe we'll see.
Hope it's better than last.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, the women's roster wasn't strong at that point, so they had to bring all these the retired guys back and that. So, yeah, hopefully it'll be really good. But with the way that the roster is now, especially with Mariah May, I don't know what her actual name is, debuting in NXT, it's going to be an amazing. I think that's when she'll debut as well at the Evolution pay-per-view. So, yeah. And then, unfortunately, some bit of sad news. Ric Flair has announced on Twitter that he's got cancer for the second time in 3 years, so hopefully Rick can fight this and go well as well. So wish we all here at the SLS Wrestling Podcast wish Ric Flair the best in that. So anyway, that's the end of our. Was that?
He is the dirtiest player in the game, so he can cut through this.
Can I ask you, where would you rank if you would? He's not in my top 10 list, but where would you rank Rick as well? On your list, because in everyone else's, he was before our time as well.
I know he's within my top 20 of all time. I can say that much.
I have to do my list. I don't think I'm not degrading what he's done in that, but he's I just don't know where he is on my list and that. So yeah, let's see. And that's anyway. That's the end of our recap paper. That's our end of our recap podcast. Once again, thank you, Legion, for joining me. I know it was a bit short notice from yesterday and that, but it's something I kind of want to dip into and see where they go, see where we go from here. So this will be up on YouTube pretty soon.
I think it's you trying to make up for yesterday.
Look, you know, it's yeah, I wasn't. It's when you get no sleep. When you get no sleep, the last thing I want to do is stream with me no sleep, being just absolutely moody and pissed off with people, and that. And if there's someone that comes in, that's all. See me for the first time and just see me be, very angry and that, it's not a good sight. So that's why I didn't do the stream yesterday and that. So I don't know if I'll stream King and Queen of the Ring because that'll be at 3 a.m. my time and I ain't getting up for that. So yeah.
Don't.
Yeah. Yeah, so maybe SummerSlam will be the next one. I don't know. We'll see then. But anyway.
We'll probably do another recap for that one.
Yeah, we'll do. Well, we'll have to do a recap as well. Give our thoughts on the matches and that. Anyway, here's Legion.
Hey yo, bye bye, woohoo, yeah, woo.
I'm SugarRay. I hope you enjoyed this recap of Money in the Bank. If you have any questions you want to ask us, feel free to do it in the YouTube, in the comments and all that stuff. So yeah, thanks again. Yeah, I hope you have a good rest of your day, Legion. I hope you enjoy. You're going to be watching Raw this Monday.
I'll try. I'll try.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks again to everyone. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Take care, and we'll see you in the next episode. Stay tuned to Twitter. I'm just trying to do I'm trying to do the sellout speeches and that. So, and as far as me returning the streaming as well, I'll be back this week. So, I've got. Sorry, this is. I know we're a wrestling stream here, Legion, and I should actually look at you, even though I'm not actually looking at you. I'll be returning to streaming this week as well to get ready for the new Destiny content coming in 5 weeks. So I'll be looking through my vault and asking people to delete stuff for me, and that's which people want to do for a long time, but I will actually have to start doing it. So thanks again.
Hit up Dado.
If only. If only. I'd probably, if he was to tell me to delete someone, I probably would delete it, and that. So thanks again, Legion. Hope everyone enjoys wrestling, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.